Always helps to start by actually pushing the button to hear the audio. Good morning, everybody. If you could just do me a quick favor, confirm that the video and the audio is good. We'll get started. We got a lot of stocks to talk about today. We got a few news stories to talk about today, but I'm actually going to highlight something that we started talking about first in my email that I send out to our clients today, which is the type of stock market that we're in right now. Pretty interesting stuff. I want to start out, though, inviting you, if you haven't signed up for tomorrow night's workshop. We're actually having guest speakers tomorrow night, Jeff Manson and Caitlin Okram, to speak about futures trading. Obviously, we're a stock trading pro, but we want to expand what we offer to everybody in a way that we want to keep expanding the education. Which is funny because that's going to take us into the first topic that we're going to talk about today. So if you want to attend tomorrow night's futures trading workshop, click the link below and sign up on Zoom. I think it's definitely going to be worth your time. We also know that a lot of people are observing the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur this week as well. If you happen to not be able to attend because of that, absolutely register anyway, because we'll make sure that we send you the replay. Okay. Also, we're actually going to be having one of the speakers for the futures event speaking today at noon. We're actually going to have an extra live session today at 12 o'clock. So I'm actually going to have somebody on with me at 12 to talk about the futures markets, give you a little idea about what they're going to talk about in tomorrow night's workshop. So we're going to get started in just 1 second. So stick around. Be back in 1 minute. Okay, so obviously, I got to slide over. Obviously, I want to thank everybody for attending today. This is really important that we stay on top of what's going on in the market right now. Everything we're about to discuss and every day is for educational purposes. It's my mission to help you make smarter, more detailed decisions so that you have the conviction to expect to make money every day when you buy stocks. So here's what I want to talk about. We're actually going to start out today with something that I spent a lot of time thinking about last night, which is the current market conditions. So here's what I want to do. Here, I just want to take a quick poll. Just type yes in the chat if you started trading after March of 2020. That's the big question I want to have right now. Did you start trading after the bottom fell out of the market and then just started to rally pretty much every day? Because I want to show you something that I sent out in an email this morning, and then we're going to discuss all of these things on the screen right now. So let's see. James, yes. Want to get across to everybody. Gator, yes. Carlos, good morning, Carlos. Hank, yes. Good morning, Hank. Robert, Jason beforehand. Good morning, Jason. Richard, no. And Shane, yes. And John, no. Okay. I will tell you that probably 50%, if not more, of the people that are currently in the boot camp right now or our swing trading community absolutely started after the market bottomed out. A lot of people were home. And I think that, matter of fact, I know because of the conversations, we're actually going to show you a snippet of the conversations that we've had. A lot of people are not prepared for what I call the real market. And I want to share on the screen right now. I just want to share something that we sent out to our community today. And I want to make it a little bit bigger so that you can see it. So the first part, consecutive higher opens in the market met with immediate selling. Welcome to the real stock market. You're now enrolled in the next level of the game, back and forth, up and down, actual price action. Not the stimulus infused facade that we've had over the last 18 months. And this is actually the biggest part here. And that's a good thing. Real traders will thrive because we have a plan, because we respect risk, don't rely on the market to bail us out of bad decisions. Buckle up. It's going to be fun. Now, for a lot of people, that's going to be a reality check. And one of the biggest questions that we get right now, as you're diving into buy stocks, looking to manage those positions, and things get a little bit less obvious, for lack of a better way of putting it. Less obvious every day. We just expect the market to go up every day. The stock market All right, 10:30, here's hit the buy button and we're going to go up. The question that we get, and maybe you have this question right now, is, hey, is this a good time to, did I pick the wrong time to start learning how to trade stocks? And if you started last year in that time period that we just discussed, you picked the most glorious time to become a stock trader in the last 20 years. I mean, literally dating back to when the internet boom, the dot-com boom crashed, went down for the next 2.5 years, all the way up to where we are right now. This has basically been a vertical move off the lows. And I keep using the same term for buying stocks in that period, for learning how to buy stocks in that period. It was glorious, absolutely glorious. However, now we are in what you might call a real market where we're actually planning for stocks to go up and down and back and forth and reading the tape. And I'm going to tell you straight up, if you learn what to do, if you have a strategy, if you have an edge, this will be easier than the market that we just had, simply because we're not playing musical chairs anymore where it's going up and you feel like it's too late, and it's going up and you feel like it's too late. We're going to have a little bit of this. We're going to have 3 to 5 days to the upside. We're going to have 2 days, maybe a day and a half to the downside. And I'm going to show you the pattern when we talk about Tesla here in a second, that we're going to be looking for the market to bottom out and then make moves in the opposite direction. So here's the big thing. I'm telling you right now, it's going to get challenging. It's going to be a little bit of back and forth, but that's kind of the whole reason that we're doing these videos, right? That's the whole reason that we're making this connection as a community, whether you're here on social media with me or you take the plunge and you invest in yourself and you join our private community. The whole reason for this is that you want to feel, no matter what, you're in control of what's going on. It should not matter what the market does. What should matter is that you're ready for what happens. And I'm going to bring it into quote number 2. Okay, now this is actually a quote from our community yesterday by a gentleman named Fred. So the second quote here that Fred posted yesterday, and this is actually a big part of our community where we share these kind of things. Something I talk about all the time, and maybe you get that sense of community and learning and everything that we do. This is a part of what needs to be in your mindset right now. One trade can make your month. If you take small losses with stops, you'll eventually be rewarded. Now, the challenge that a lot of traders have, especially newer traders right now, is they've kind of been in the midst of this glorious bull market where it was very common it would move in your favor. Very common it would move in your favor. And too many people were lulled into this sense of false confidence that the market can't go down, and not prepared for what happens if it does. I'm not calling for a stock market crash. I want to make that super clear. What I am calling for is you have now leveled up after probably making some good money if you took advantage of the market over the last 18 months. But now you've leveled up to where you're in a different level of the game now. Now there's going to be back and forth. Now there's going to be decisions. Now you're going to need to know your sector rotation, which we're going to get into a second. Now you're going to need to know, should I be sizing up or should I be lowering my position sizing? When a stock moves up, should I be exiting? When a stock moves up, should I be exiting and adding? Now you're going to play a different level of the game. This is where you're going to get your PhD in stock trading. Now, here's the big thing that I want to challenge you on. And this is, I don't have a lot of superpowers, but if I have a superpower, it's absolutely this. It's persistence. Right now, before the market gets a little bit more challenging, I want to pass along to you the words, the stuff that was taught to me, which is now you're going to decide how bad you actually want it. Now you're going to decide how you want to create that financial freedom for yourself through the stock market, where your goal right now is to make the stock market make you have the life of your dreams, right? Not the infomercial. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the person you look at in the morning when you brush your teeth, comb your hair, and you think you want it really bad. Because what's going to happen right now that the real stock market is here, and we're going up, and we're going down, and we're going backwards, we're going sideways, now you need to have a plan. Now you need to have a script. Now you need to have position sizing. Now you need to fully, as we talked about here, you need to fully buy into the fact that now you got to pull on your overalls and do a little bit of extra work. So you gave all that lip service last year to where the market was bottoming out and rallying and going up every day. And you're like, yeah, I love the stock market. You should still love the stock market, but now you're going to prove to yourself, not to me, not to your wife, not to your husband, not to your significant other, not to your parents, prove to yourself how bad you actually want the financial security, the freedom, the choices that the stock market can give you, because you're going to get knocked down. You're going to get hit. You're going to say, I don't understand what happened, because you're not prepared, because the market just basically went vertical almost every single month. Maybe a little bit it didn't, but pretty much vertical. So now more than ever, and this is really where you decide, am I willing to step up and make my dreams come true? And when you get knocked down, promise me that you get back up. Promise me that no matter how tough things get, you get tougher and you start to ask more questions. That is why we are hosting these calls. That is why I came out of retirement after 10 years when I closed my firm and decided to open up a coaching program again. This is the normal market. What we had was glorious. What we had was amazing. If you want to seize this opportunity and take what you just learned over the last 18 months, you need right now to decide, when it gets tough, you're going to get tougher. But more importantly, this quote by Fred from yesterday, something that we talk about all the time, is you need to take small losses, not move your stops, and you'll eventually be rewarded. And what that means is that you need to respect the dollar amount on your trade. If you put the trade on, it moves in your favor, pulls back, or if you put the trade on, moves against you, don't move your stop losses. Respect your risk, keep your losses reasonable, and then it only takes 1 or 2 trades for the entire week, maybe even for the entire month, depending if you're day trading or swing trading. You get to the other side, small loss, small profit, small loss, small profit. Oh, look, that trade didn't come back. Now I can add to it, and that one trade makes the week. That 1 or 2 trades makes the month. That's real trading. So what I'm telling you right now, I'm warning you, like the robot from Lost in Space, if you're my age and you remember the robot with the arms, warning, warning. I am warning you right now that it's time to step up. It is time to show yourself what kind of spine you have. It's time to show yourself how badly you actually want what you have in front of you right now. I will be your guide. I will be your friend. I will be your buddy, but I will not sugarcoat it. If there's tough stuff going on, we're going to talk about it. If you're making a mistake, we'll talk about it. If you have a challenge, we'll talk about it. But you need to participate. I'm telling you right now, I own 2 trading firms. I've been doing this a long time. The traders that succeed ask questions when something happens that they don't understand. The traders that fail and struggle and keep refunding their trading account, thinking they don't have a problem, and you keep putting another 5,000 in, you keep putting another 10,000 in, and instead of asking a question or educating yourself, you'd rather just keep trying to figure it out. I'm telling you right now, ask questions. I challenge you every single day in these calls. Once we finish the call, post comments below, and I always get back to you. If we discuss something here, ask a follow-up question, and then we'll have a little bit of a dialogue. If you want to take this further and do this with me in real time, obviously you can click below and learn about our boot camp and see if that's right for you. But I'm telling you now, before it happens, as your friend, it's going to get challenging, but we can do this and thrive together. But you need to ask questions, okay? So that's kind of like my public service announcement, because when you're through this over 21 years now for me, see everything, you can see kind of what's coming. And that's what we want to teach you how to do. Recognize different market conditions so that you understand when to scale up, when to pull back, when to hold, when to add, when to exit into momentum, and quite honestly, when you should be in cash. And that is the single biggest thing that members of our community in a big way are learning. And I'm going to give one person the biggest kind of gold star, Ranesh, who's in our community. He's probably been in our community for maybe 2 months now, maybe 2.5 months. And the revelations that he's experiencing, where he's admitting a couple of months ago, prior to becoming a member of the community in the boot camp, that he would have been over trading. He would have lost a lot more money. Don't discount not losing money as valuable as learning how to make money, because here's the path. And this is 100% fact. You need to be around long enough to understand how to make money. But first, you need to respect risk in order to be around long enough to have experience. Because if you don't respect risk, you're going to blow up your account and refund it. You're going to blow up your account and refund it. So here's the proper path. And this is a fact. Start out trading lower position size. And I don't care if you have a $2,000 account. It really doesn't matter. Start out trading a smaller amount, but absolutely trade real money. I don't care if you trade 5 shares. Everybody has a learning curve. You got to place trades and learn, place trades and learn, place trades and learn. And your account's going to go like this. But as you gain more experience, you make a big list of what not to do. You learn to avoid that. And now you're around long enough to understand how to make money. That's the path that you should be taking. The path that a lot of people take is they try and go in there with big share size right away and try and make too much relative to their experience. It's like stepping on the gas before you ever learn how to use the brake. You need to understand the different conditions of when and how to trade bigger or smaller. So we actually just got a question here. Again, I don't want to turn this into a sales pitch, but I love what I do, and I think we have the greatest community in the world. So the boot camp is a 30-day experience where we actually give you the training program to understand order flow, understand tape reading. That's just step number 1. Step number 2, then we have weekly coaching calls. We have multiple weekly coaching calls where you can ask me questions in real time, exactly like we're doing right now. Then we take it a step further. We have our real-time community for both day traders and swing traders where we have conversations like this all day, every day. Then we take it even a step further where I literally give you my entries, my exits, my trade management, my stop loss when I'm adding to positions for both day trades and swing trades. And then we go back and have more coaching calls and we review what we traded during the week. That's essentially the boot camp. It's a 30-day program. I know Jason Miller is actually on here right now, who is a part of our community. We have a really, really good community. And I want to tell you right now, if you've learned anything about me, I'm a huge, I firmly believe in investing in yourself because I invest in myself. Only you could make the decision if you want to, and it's $295 for 30 days. And if you think about it, it's not a subscription. It's a 30-day program. You get everything I just described. Most people risk that on one trade. So 30 days versus one stop loss, it's kind of a no-brainer. Family going out to dinner, it's $295. So 30 days, if you want, you can stay for us for the year for the mastery program. I don't want to turn this into a sales pitch. Somebody asked, I wanted to answer. I got to be honest with you. Only you can decide if you want to take that next step. Only you can decide if $295 is worth investing in yourself. I hope you do, because I think what we do is amazing. And this is the kind of stuff you get from us all day, every day, plus other members of the community. So somebody asked the question. I didn't want to, I don't like for these to be sales pitches, but I do want to introduce you to stuff because quite honestly, if I think it could help, it's my obligation to let you know about it. So we're actually going to head on over now. We're going to get into the rest of the stuff here. Do we offer one-on-one trading? We do, but not in the boot camp. That's a separate mastermind. Let's see, Jason. Thank you, Jason. I really appreciate that. And Bill here went through the boot camp twice, worth 5 times the investment. Bill, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So if you want to learn about the boot camp, at least click through that. You can go down into the description and learn about the New York method and what we do. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, and by the way, I hope you watched the beginning of this video more than once because it's that valuable. I'm telling you right now, some of us have met in person. Some of us have met in the community. Some of us might never meet in person. I'm challenging you right now as a friend. How bad do you want it? Because it's going to get a little bit more challenging. Everybody knows how to celebrate the winning touchdown. How do you react when you get punched in the face? Do you come back stronger and say, no, I'm stronger than that? Or do you quit? Be stronger than that. I'm telling you, there are a lot of people here like myself who can help. I want to be the one who helps. I like helping. So anyway, let's get into the other topics that we're going to discuss today, which we're going to start out here talking about sector leaders. So a big part of what we've been discussing is what, first I want to take a look at the market. The market actually just turned negative, which is not what we're expecting to have happen today. So pre-market, we're getting a little bit of selling coming out of yesterday's close. We're fully expecting a higher opening today. Kind of neutral to slightly negative, not exactly what we wanted to see. But what we want to talk about here first are the sector leaders. And we've been mentioning the energy stocks for the better part of a couple of weeks. We've been watching them pull back. And remember, this is a big part of trading, understanding how to follow the smart money, understanding how to get involved with moves before they happen. And right now, the sector leaders in the energy, we're watching CPE, which is just starting to break this downtrend, but much more in a bigger way, we're watching CHK and CLR. So you start to get a feel for the sector rotation, and then you start to get a feel for understanding which ones to be trading. Now, we mentioned here briefly the keys to trading, and I want to bring this up on the screen again just one more time so you can read it. Small losses, small stops, and eventually be rewarded. But what does that mean? How do you eventually get rewarded? You eventually get rewarded by understanding how to learn to hold good trades longer. And in the way that we do it, we've developed something called the profit maximizer. So remember, the path is this. Open your trading account, develop an edge. I give you my edge, which we're talking about here every day. Start placing real trades with real money, get experience, make a list of what doesn't do, and then the key to trading is understanding how to make more on your winning trades. That's the path. You want to write that down, okay? All right, so we're going to move on to the next part, what we wanted to cover today, Tesla. Tesla. Let me make sure we pull this up on the screen. Tesla traded into one of our favorite patterns yesterday, which was a bullish U-turn, which means that we look for the next day for the trade to reverse back in the direction. So this was the price action in Tesla yesterday, traded back into yesterday's low, back into the previous day's price action, and this is what we have unfolding right now. So Tesla and some of the electric vehicle stocks in China, which we're going to get to in a second, reversed, got back above this breakout level, slightly opening lower today, but that's okay. This is the difference between having a game plan where you script what should happen. And we actually talked about this on our coaching call last night. You need to know what perfect looks like. So everything away from perfect lowers the probabilities. But then after you put a trade on, you need to say, and again, another posted pad moment that we talk about every day, what do I want to see? What don't I want to see? So we had this bullish U-turn that we call, that's the pattern that Tesla traded into yesterday, where it opened lower, reversed, closed at the high of the day. So today, our entry in Tesla, we'd be looking for it to trade above yesterday's high, validating and confirming yesterday's order flow reversal. But now Tesla's trading lower pre-market, which is fine. We have our day scripted out. And this is where trading becomes a heck of a lot easier. You start to put everything down in your trusty notepad. And if Tesla trades above yesterday's high, then breaks out of a certain price that we look at every day, then we'll put the trade on. If Tesla opens lower and trades lower, we leave it alone. We don't hold that against ourselves, and we just move to the next trade. So Tesla's bullish U-turn yesterday was a big, big reversal. Taking over into a different story that's pretty darn interesting is this. China to consolidate the overcrowded electric vehicle market. That is pretty darn interesting. So essentially right now, if you happen to be a Tesla or a NIO specifically, XPEV. So actually, let's rattle up the stocks here just so you have them. XPEV, NIO, and LI. Those are the top three that we generally look at every day. If you happen to be one of those three stocks and you're the survivor of what we're seeing here, at least what China's talking about, this could be the most amazing, amazing news if you are one of those survivors. So this is a super interesting story to talk about. Next, we're going to talk about Oracle. Oracle actually missed earnings yesterday. Not a shock. This stock went from amazing to the middle of nowhere and getting hit. It's already down 2% today. So we'll see how it unfolds today. This very likely, Oracle, just to give an idea, once it opens now and you learn how to read the tape, we're going to probably end up having trades in Oracle within that first 90 minutes of the day, which could be short sale opportunities. So we'll see. Does that earnings catalyst give us a move in that direction so that we can end up having a better trade on the short side? Something else we're going to take a look at today is Bitcoin and crypto. So we're going to take a look at futures today. This market has not recovered from this 10,000 point move to the downside. It's up 1,200 points right now. But if you know price action, we had a push and a pause. So a push and a pause right now is leading us to not take any position right now until we get out of this pause. It's essentially a 5-day trading range. And right now it's still having a hard time recovering from this 10,000 point drop. We are literally still in the middle of this window. So how does a smart trader handle this? Well, if you like the longer term picture of Bitcoin, obviously you're going to look for a breakout to the upside. However, the amateur trader that while it's still stuck in that range, you're going to end up getting beat up in there. Let them tip their hand and finally get out of the window, and then you just piggyback on board. That's a big part of the process of what we do. You identify obvious order flow, you see volume come into that trade, then you find a spot on the lower time frames to piggyback and make the less stressful trade in that direction. So in that context, we're watching Bitcoin to pick a direction, and then we're going to be looking for Bitcoin mining stocks that we trade every day. And again, full credit where it's due. Aldo, one of our moderators, is our Bitcoin guru, so to speak, inside of our community. And he has us watching Mara and Riot pretty much every day. So these are the stocks. Mara, as you can see, also traded into pretty close to a bullish U-turn, almost the same signal that we talked about in Tesla before. So Mara and Riot are the two stocks that we've been trading. Riot has relative weakness. Mara has relative strength. So we are looking right now to look for Mara to catch a bid if Bitcoin rallies. So those are the sides of the Bitcoin related ideas that we're trading right now. Obviously, another big event that's going on today is Apple iPhone coming out. I will tell you this, and we've actually had a conversation about Apple for the better part of the last 2 months, maybe heading back into July. I took a couple of positions in Apple, and I will tell you that Apple has been challenging to trade for the last 3 months. Buy the breakout, pull back. Buy the breakout, pull back. You have to buy the breakout at all-time highs. It's the right trade to make, especially when the market was hitting all-time highs, but broke out and pull back, broke out and pull back. And yeah, I definitely got a lot more gray hairs trading Apple over the last couple of months. Nasty, nasty news last week on the App Store conversation about how they're charging and all that kind of stuff. Will the iPhone bail out Apple today, have it create bullish order flow again? I don't know. I do know, though, very similar to what we talked about before in Oracle, it's going to be a catalyst. And us as active traders, we're looking for the catalyst as a reason to see volatility. Then we have to use our skills of reading order flow and understanding how to tape read to find the best opportunities. The last step is then determining, does it have legs, and is it a longer term play where a push and a pause we look to add, or is it a push and a pause where we exit, book the profit, and go to the next one? These are all the things that I talked about at the beginning of the call. You need to trade different types of market conditions to understand that every trade is not the same. When you understand how to recognize the type of trade, then that affects position sizing. Then that affects your initial profit target. Then that affects your ultimate profit target. And that's where you really feel like you're the reason you're making money, because you're in control. You literally script the entire thing out, which is why when somebody like Fred and Ranesh from our community can say, this is amazing, I feel like I'm in control right now, it's because you know what to do before you need to do it. And that's really where trading becomes fun. I know a lot of people don't associate trading and fun in the same conversation, but that's really what it comes down to. Trading is like any other business that you absolutely love to run. It's because you know what you're doing. And in order to understand how to know what you're doing, you need to trade real money. Again, I can't stress this. Trade 50 shares, trade 100 shares, learn on lower share size, and then get to the point where you have a couple of months of profitability. And then only then, when you kind of graduate to that next level where your company is making money, only then should you trade a little bit bigger, because now you've earned the right to trade bigger and you're confident because you've just proven it to yourself. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a heads up. First, I want to say semiconductor stocks are also strong right now. We're probably not going to have enough time to do that right now, but I want to give you a super advanced piece of trading wisdom. I don't know what the word I'm going to use for it, but I just want to give you this. We just talked about trading and sizing up and trade starting here and then trading a little bit bigger and then trading a little bit bigger as your P&L gives you feedback that you're actually making money. Okay, I can virtually guarantee this, that when you go from 100 shares to 200 shares or 500 shares to 1,000 shares, I guarantee you're going to have a rough couple of weeks after you size up. Guarantee. I've seen it thousands of times. I've worked with probably 10,000, if not more, traders since 2000. All right. I had two firms. I was the psychological crutch for a lot of people while they're learning. When you're trading here, you accept that dollar amount of risk and you're comfortable. And now you're managing the trade properly. And it's going, you're up 300, you're down 300, and you're mentally okay with that. And you're comfortable with that. But now you want to get out of your comfort zone and you want to start to trade bigger. You're like, you know what? I'm ready. I want to start making $500 a day or $1,000 a day, whatever number is comfortable for you. But now you're going to risk, instead of risking 300 per trade, now you're going to go to 500 per trade. I'm telling you right now, again, this is the whole point of our back and forth. This is the whole part of these, these kind of sessions, let's call them, is be prepared that it's going to take you a week or so to get out of your comfort zone again, where you were comfortable with this risk. Now you're going to step up. You're going to take a little bit more risk because you can handle it, because you understand how to do it, and because the opportunity is good to justify taking extra risks, which is another thing too, is recognizing when you simply have a better trade on the table versus a mediocre trade. So remember what I said before, you need to start with what perfect looks like, and that's when you size up and hold longer, right? But as soon as you know perfect, any trade that comes away from perfect, that immediately means that you need to adjust your position sizing and your trade management because it's not perfect anymore. It could still be a good idea. So maybe you have 2 days or 3 days of order flow and you can justify the trade, or maybe it's just breaking out. And actually, I'll give you an example of an idea that we're actually looking at today, which is LAC. LAC kept getting up to this level. It was actually up a little bit pre-market. So we're looking for it to get above 23. It's 22 and change right now. So this is an opportunity where there's not longer term order flow, but the stock is clearly getting to a level where if buyers step up at that level, something changed and it becomes a new opportunity that has room to go. But it does not have longer term existing order flow. It's got maybe a week or two. So you still like the idea, but the order flow, big money hasn't started putting big money into that in a big way yet. So you put on your first piece. So you see how the idea of perfect room to go, multiple months of order flow, closing on the highs, really clean pushes and pauses, that's different from the first time it's pushing up to a breakout level. So the first scenario, you can trade a little bit bigger with more conviction because the deal is better. The second one, you're looking for feedback to put on the first piece. So in this case here with LAC, we'd be putting on our first piece looking for feedback. If it pulls back and it's not ready to go, no harm, no foul. We risk less on the position because we recognize how far away from perfect it was. If it goes and we get feedback, then we look to add to that position, and we have definite places where we look to add. So that's a big part of what we're doing. So again, going all the way back to what we started today's call about, and I'm going to actually pull that up on the screen again so that we can end the call with this. So this was the lesson. All right. Welcome to the real stock market, the back and forth, all of that kind of stuff. It's going to get real now. It's going to get real. It's going to get challenging. But again, I'm going to challenge you to be tougher than the challenge that you're about to face. And I want to help you with that. So I only need to ask one favor from you. If you find value from these videos, please do me a favor. Click down. If you like these live streams that I'm helping, click down, subscribe, smash that like button, hit the alert. But just as important, leave a comment below. If anything we talked about today is new, if anything we talked about today hit a nerve, leave a comment below and we'll have a little bit more back and forth. We'll save it for another call. We'll actually come on tomorrow again during the live stream and we'll follow up. We'll have a follow-up conversation. So again, I just want you to know how much I appreciate and how grateful I am that you're here with me on social media. If you want to take the next step and learn about the bootcamp, we described it a little bit today. You can click the link in the description. Look, I'd love to see you on the other side. I think it's one of the most amazing things we've ever done, and you get a lot more of this, but in real time. And if you're available today at noon, we're actually going to have another live stream. We're going to talk a little bit about futures trading. We actually have a guest coming on today at noon too. So I have to hop on over and get ready for our private game plan call. So have an awesome, awesome day. I hope that I hit a nerve today because I want to challenge you now and let you know what you're about to face. I want you to be bigger than that and step up and say, no, I really want this bad. I'm going to start asking some good questions. So thank you so much, everybody. Have an awesome, awesome day. We got new live stream coming out at noon today. Click down below to learn about the other stuff we talked about before. Have an awesome day, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here with me.